Hello! So this is my next video in the Introduction to Objective Personality series. So this video is going to look at function activation and the animal stacking. So the animal stacking shows the order of the four animals that somebody has in objective personality. So when we write down an animal stacking, we typically write the first two animals, A1 and A2, in front of the slash because these first two animals are savior animals. They're animals that are done in a savior state, meaning that we personally feel responsible to do them. We often do them unconsciously. We're more comfortable utilizing these animals. The last two animals here, A3 and A4, are written to the right side of the slash. The third and the fourth animals are what we call demon animals. Now, you'll notice here that the fourth animal is shown in parentheses. And this is because we consider this to be not activated. Now, keep in mind that you shouldn't take this term too literally because everybody uses all four animals, but it's just that the fourth animal is utilized considerably less than the other three. So relative to the other three animals, it's got a negligible effect on activation. So here's an example of an animal stacking. So this person has consume as their first animal, play as their second animal. Consume and play are the savior animals in this person. So this person will gather for oneself, that's the consume animal. They'll also gather with the tribe, the play animal. The third animal is sleep. Sleep is a demon animal, meaning that they're less inclined to want to organize and narrow down for oneself. However, it's still activated. So they can still, access sleep animal a fair amount, even if it's not their preference. Now, the last animal here is blast. That's shown in parentheses. So that's organizing for the tribe. So this one is far less activated than the other ones. We consider it non-activated. Now, of course, this person still uses blast, but in a negligible amount compared to the other animals. So this person is likely to leave a void in using the blast animal. They may not share their known information with other people. That may be a void that they're leaving. Okay, so now let's look at how the animal stacking affects the activation of the functions. So let's just start with somebody who is SITE savior functions, so just a standard version of ISTJ, and animal stacking of blast, sleep, play, consume. Okay, so if you look at this bubble diagram here, you can see that the SI is being activated from the blast animal here. There's a connection there. And then there's also another activation from the sleep animal. Okay? So SI as a function is being activated twice, once in the blast animal, once in the sleep animal. Okay? Now the second function in the stack is TE. So TE is also being activated from blast with SI. And it's also being activated from play, TE and NE. Now the line is thinner there because it's the third animal, it's a demon, but it's still activated. So that one's being activated twice. Now let's look at the third function in the stack, FI. So over here, we see that FI is being activated from sleep. We don't count the consume. okay, because we don't count the last animal when we're measuring function activation. So that's why it's shown in the dotted line here. So FI is activated once. NE activated from play, and then we don't count the consume down here. So that's singly activated. So when you look at this type, you can see that the top two functions are doubly activated. The second two functions are singly activated. This is going to look like a pretty standard garden variety ISTJ. Okay, now over here for FI, we call this A here an activated daemon function. What does that mean? It means that even though as a function FI is a daemon, it's being activated through one of the savior animals. Okay, so sleep here is a savior animal. The first two animals are savior animals, and the sleep is FI and SI. So even though FI is a daemon function, they can still access it pretty well and may feel pretty comfortable using it when it's in conjunction with SI. Now, if it's FI with NE, that's going to be a lot harder to pull up because that's their last animal. Okay, now the savior animals, once again, blast and sleep. The play animal here is the third animal. We call the third animal the activated daemon animal, because even though it's a daemon animal, um, you know, they can still have a reasonable amount of access to it. Okay, let's do another example. So we're going to use ISTJ again, but we're going to do a different animal stacking. So let's do blast, play, consume, sleep. Okay, so SI, we can see that that's activated through blast, but look over here. It's not being activated through sleep. It's only being activated once, even though it's the top function. TE, we can see that it's being activated through blast. There's a connection there. And it's also being activated through play. So it's being activated twice. Third function, FI, being activated in the third animal consume, not activated in the sleep, activated once. Now look at the last function here, NE, it's activated twice. It's activated in the play and the consume. It's doubly activated, even though it's the bottom function. So, chances are this ISTJ with this animal stacking may not look like a standard ISTJ. They might look more NE-like, You might even think that they're, um, being typed upside down because they're doubly activated on that bottom function. So that is why the animal stacking is so important. It explains these nuances between types and why some types may not look like the typical MBTI version. Okay, so the activated daemon function here is NE for this type because NE is a daemon function, but it's being activated in the savior animal, which is play. And then for this stacking, consume is what we call the activated daemon animal because that one is the third animal. Okay, let's try a jumper version of ISTJ. SIFI, and let's do sleep, consume, play, blast, last. And let's see how the function activation looks like for this type. Okay, so SI being activated once in the sleep animal. TE being activated once in the play animal over here. Remember, it's not activated in the blast. That's the last animal. We don't count that one. Fi, being activated twice in sleep and consume. Ne is being activated twice in play and also in consume. The activated demon function here would be Ne, which is coming from the consume animal here, which is a savior animal for this type. And then if you look at the activated demon animal here, that would be play. That's the third animal. When you look at the function activations, this is really interesting because the bottom two functions in the stack, Fi and Ne, are both doubly activated, while the top two functions are singly activated. So chances are this person is not going to look very much at all like a typical ISTJ. They're really going to look upside down. If you thought that the previous one over here with its bottom function doubly activated, that doesn't look so very standard. This one, look at that, the bottom two functions are doubly activated, the third and the fourth functions. So you can mistake this type for like an ENFP, for example, unless you really know, what you're looking for. You notice that, okay, this person is still responsible to do SI. It's a savior function. They got SI in the top as a single observer. But it can be really easy to mistype somebody as another, Myers-Briggs type. If you're okay. So this type here is what we would call a glass lizard. So a glass lizard is a nickname for a type that has a double activated fourth function. Okay, so these two examples of ISTJs, the ISTJ with a blast, play, consume, sleep, and then also the ISTJ jumper, SIFI, sleep, consume, play, blast. They both have their bottom function NE doubly activated. Why is it called a glass lizard? Because it looks like a snake. But it's really a lizard. Okay, so a glass lizard has no legs. So you may not think it's a lizard, but it is a lizard. It looks like a snake. And that's exactly what you see with glass lizard types. They might look like another Myers-Briggs type. Okay, so we're going to do a little practice exercise here so you can kind of get the hang of, looking at these types and determining the function activation. So for these two types, determine the level of activation for each of the functions, the activated demon function, and the activated animal. Okay, you may want to pause that if you want to practice. Okay, so let's do that first one. Okay, so we have TISE. So this is a standard variety, standard standard ISTP, TISE, animal stacking, consume, sleep, blast, play. Okay, so the function order of ISTP, TISE, NIFE, TI. Okay, well, we see TI is activated twice in the consume and in the sleep. SE is activated once in the consume animal. Third function NI is activated twice in sleep and also in that third animal, blast. FE is activated once in the blast function. Okay? And then for the activated demon function, that is NI, because NI is because NI is also in the sleep animal, which is a savior animal. So even though NI is a demon for this person, they may be able to access Ni and feel more comfortable using it when it's in conjunction with Ti because that's a savior animal. Okay? The activated demon animal for this type is the third animal, which is blast. Okay. And then for this one over here, Fene. So this would be an ESFJ jumper type. And animal stacking, play, consume, sleep, blast. So for an ESFJ, their function order is Fe, Si, Ne, and Ti. Okay? So this one is a jumper. Fe and Ne are the savior function, savior 1, savior 2. How are they being activated? Fe activated once through play. Si activated once through sleep. Ne activated twice through play and consume. And Ti is activated twice through sleep and consume. Activated demon function is Ti, and that's coming from the savior animal, consume, second animal. And then the activated demon animal is a third animal, which is sleep. Okay, now if you look at the function activation here, guess what? We got another glass lizard type. And then this one, the bottom two functions are both doubly activated. So this type may end up looking like an INTP, not an ESFJ, and you're wondering what's going on here. So that's a little bit about animals and function activation. So I hope that kind of makes more sense, and you can kind of see the nuances between the different types. So we have one more video to go in this introductory series, and it's going to cover the sexual modalities, where we're going to be looking at masculine and feminine versions of functions. That's going to expand the number of types from 128 to 512 types. So stay tuned for that video. If you want to see more videos, please subscribe to my channel, ring the bell for notifications. I'll see you later. Bye.